Hello, my dear children. Greetings from Indus Valley Public School, Rat. Welcome to your English class where we will be doing a poem from your Beehive book. And the name of the poem is Wind. This poem is composed by Subramania Bharati. His full name was Chinnaswamy Subramania Bharati and also known as Bharatiyar. He was a Tamil writer, poet, journalist, Indian independence activist, a social reformer, and a polyglot. He was born on 11 December 1882, India, popularly known as Mahakavi Bharati. He was a pioneer of modern Tamil poetry and is considered one of the greatest Tamil literary figure of all time. His numerous works include fiery songs kindling patriotism during the Indian independence movement. He left this world on 11 September 1921. Now, moving towards the poem, first let's have an introduction of the poem. As the name suggests, this poem is about wind. However, the wind is a natural phenomenon. And in the poem, the poet describes the power of the wind and calls wind destructive. Further, he links the destructive power of the wind with the difficulties of life. He says that weak people break down easily, but stronger people emerge out stronger. Also, the poem gives a very important lesson that we should be mentally tough and physically strong in order to survive the hardship of life. However, a weak person crumbles and breaks down like an old building. So it is necessary that we should make these destructive forces our friends with our determination and strength. So now coming towards the poem, wind. The wind blows strongly and causes a lot of destruction. How can we make friendship with it? Let's see the poem. This is your poem. Wind comes softly. Don't break the shutter of the windows. Don't scatter the papers. Don't throw down the books on the shelf. There, look what you did. You threw them all down. You tore the pages of the books. You brought rain again. You are very clever at poking fun at weaklings. Frail, crumbling houses, crumbling doors, crumbling rafters, crumbling wood, crumbling bodies, crumbling lives, crumbling heart. The wind god winnows and crushes them all. He won't do what you tell him. So, come, let's build strong homes. Let's join the doors firmly. Practice to form the body. Make the heart steadfast. Do this, and the wind will be friends with us. The wind blow out weak fires. He makes strong fires roar and flourish. His friendship is good. We praise him every day. So this is your poem. Now moving towards the explanation of the poem. Let's take the first four lines. Wind, come softly. Don't break the shutter of the window. Don't scatter the paper. Don't throw down the books on the shelf. In the given lines, the poet is talking to the wind. He is requesting the wind that comes softly like a child. So he is saying that wind should not be very tough or noisy. It should be flexible. Then he says that the wind is very powerful. It is destructive. What? He is showing the destructive nature of the wind. How? It breaks the shutter of the window and scatters the paper. When wind is very powerful, all the books which are kept on the shelf fall down. So here the poet is describing the power of the wind. That is the destructive nature of the wind. Now coming towards the literary device used. So here we find anaphora in line number 2, 3 and 4 because repetition of don't is there. Whenever we have repetition of the word in continuous line, that type of poetic device is known as anaphora. Clear? Moving towards the next lines. There look what you did. You threw them all down. You tore the pages of the book. You brought rain again. You are very clever at poking fun at weaklings. Children, here the poet says to the wind to look at the destruction that it had done. So whenever there is a strong wind, all the things that are weak get scared and they can fall and get hurt. We can say that in the initial part of the poem, means like first 4 lines, the poet is referring to wind as young child, like to come softly. He says that it should come softly just like a small child do or does. In the later part, we come to know that wind is destructive like youth. जैसे बच्चे बड़े हो जाते हैं, उनको लगता है कि ये नहीं डिस्ट्रक्शंस करने लगते हैं, जैसे बड़े होने के बाद उन्हें नहीं लगता किसी का रोक टोक पसंद हो तो वो शैतानियाँ करने लगते हैं. Similarly, wind used to do like youth. Just like young boys or girls who is full of energy, violence and distractions. Okay, so what did it? They tore the pages, brought the rain, and they make the fun of the weak people. Okay, weak people means वो वहाँ पे उनको shatter कर देगा, पूरी तरह से नुकसान पहुँचाएगा weak person को. Now coming towards the poetic device, so we have anaphora again in the line number 2, 3 and 4, euchre repetition in continuous line. Then we have alliteration, threw them and tore the, repetition of T. Clear? Okay, moving towards the next lines. Frail, crumbling houses, crumbling doors, crumbling rafters, crumbling wood, crumbling bodies, crumbling lives, crumbling hearts. The wind god winnows and crushes them all. The children, first we will see the poetic devices. So you find anaphora in 2-3 lines, crumbling repeated. Then you will find repetition of the word crumbling. See how many times crumbling has been repeated. Okay, so this is repetition. Then we have alliteration, wind god winnows, the repetition of W. Now coming towards explanation of the stanza. So here the word crumbling, that means falling or to cause something to break, is repeated so many times to lay stress that everything crumbles, that means everything falls, everything breaks in the face of strong wind. So the poet is saying that when wind is very powerful, it is very strong. It leads to destruction of everything. House which are weak falls. Doors which are weak falls. The beam on which the roof of the buildings are supported, they also fall. All the wooden structure fall. All bodies of people fall. Animals, lives, heart, everything shattered. So he's saying that everything crumbles, means everything is broken. Everything that is weak reacts by falling down and breaking in the face of adversity. So the poet is saying that whenever a weak person faces any harsh condition or challenges in their life, he breaks down and falls. In the next lines, it is told that the poet is addressing to the wind as wind god. तो यहाँ पे पोएट विंड को गॉड से कंपेयर करता है, एड्रेस करता है, एंड ही इज सेइंग दैट द पावरफुल गॉड ऑफ विंड विनो, दैट मीन्स ही शिफ्ट all the people, those who are weak, fall down and get crushed. So his comparison is made between wheat and people. So आप लोगों ने देखा होगा, like see in the picture. So जब हम लोग wheat and chaff को differentiate करते हैं तो wheat जो होता है वो heavier होता है, तो स्ट्रॉ की कैटेगरी में आता है, तो वो स्टे रहता है उस यूटेंसिल में, और जो शाफ होता है उसका वो गिर जाता है. तो दैट इज वीकर पार्ट. सो वीकर पार्ट goes away and stronger parts stay on that container. Okay, that is what explained over here. Just like when we winnow the wheat, it separates the grain from chaff. The wind God separates the strong people from the weak people. When there is strong wind, all the things that are weak fall and get crushed. तो गॉड क्या करता है, सारे लोग को एक साथ विंड देता है, मीन एक जैसे ट्रबल देता है, एंड द स्ट्रॉन्गर पीपल फेसेस दैट ट्रबल, और यू कैन से फेसेस द एडवर्स सिचुएशन, बट स्ट्रॉन्गर पीपल they only survive, and the people who are weak, they shattered. Okay, because situations, everything is same to everyone. The person who can easily face that situation can survive, and the person who cannot face, they get rid of that. Okay, now moving towards the next. He won't do what you tell him, so come, let's build strong homes. Let's join the door firmly. Practice to form the body. Make the heart beat fast. Do this, and the wind will be friends with us. So, dear children, here the poet wants to make friendship with the wind, that is to cope up with the adverse situation in our lives. He says that the problems would not listen to us. Means they are part and parcel of our life. Problem is going to come to your life. Okay, so we should be ready with that. So what he is saying, what we need to do, we should make friendship with that situation. He says that problems will not listen to us, they will come. So we should be prepared to face them. In preparation, we should build strong homes and close the doors of our house firmly so that the wind cannot get into. And then he says that we should also make our bodies strong and heart firm to face these challenges. And then once we are strong enough, all the challenges will be like friends. We will not feel that they are troublesome, means they are making any difficulties. Okay, once we are prepared to face any kind of challenge, any kind of situation, adverse situation, then we can face it and we will not find that it's a problem to us. Okay, now moving towards the poetic device, personification in the first line, because here wind is compared to the human thing. He won't do means only human can do the things. No? He can listen or he can obey your things. Wind cannot do. So here he is used for wind, और wind का comparison human traits से किया गया है. So personification is there, then alliteration is there. Wind will repetition of W. Okay, moving to the last lines. The wind blew out weak fires, he makes strong fire roar and flourish. His friendship is good, we praise him every day. So now in the given lines, the poet is comparing the wind to God. He says that wind is God and we praise wind every day. He adds that everything that is weak get finished off in the face of the strong wind, and all things that are strong flourish and grow to become stronger. So he already taken example of fire, that is small fire. आपका बर्थडे का फायर वो कैंडल होता है, वो छोटी सी फायर होती है, आप उसको ब्लो करते हो, that it vanished, it extinguishes. But when the fire is in the jungle, then whenever the wind is coming, it is going to expand that fire, it flourish that fire. The wind, see, both are the part of air, but when it is a small quantity, the small quantity means weaker part. At that point it extinguishes. But the same wind can flourish if it is in a large quantity. Okay, large quantities compared with the stronger part. So here the example is given of fire. So he is saying that here poet is giving us a very important message, that we should not feel bad that we are facing so many challenges and adversity in life. We should make ourselves physically and mentally strong to face these challenges, and once we are strong enough, we will overcome the challenges, we will become friends with them, and then we will be happy that we had these challenges in our life, because they help us to become stronger and better. Coming to the poetic device, personification, like in the second line, he makes a strong fire, third line, his friendship. Okay, so personification, he and his. Then next is symbolism. Here wind is symbolism. It is symbolic to your critical situation, problems. Okay, so your wind is comparing to your critical adverse situation, all kind of distractions. ठीक है, आपकी लाइफ में सिचुएशंस होती हैं क्रिटिकल एडवर्स सिचुएशन, वो विंड सिंबलाइज कर रही है. सो देयर इज सिंबॉलिज्म इन द होल पोम. नाउ कमिंग टुवर्ड्स द conclusion, the poem gives us a very important message, that we should not feel bad that we are facing so many challenges and hardship in life. Instead, we should make ourselves mentally and physically strong to face the challenges. So my dear children, I hope you have understood the poem. Thank you for watching the video.